Okay, so Labour recently came out and said that if they get elected in a general election, they will do away with universal credits. This is a fantastic strategy, and this is a winning strategy, in my opinion, because, excuse the noise, while BBC reported universal credits as being very controversial, there is no controversy. The only issue is that the government keeps forcing universal credits. MPs like Charlie Elfrich keep supporting universal credits, despite the fact that at least 80 independent bodies across the country have all said, no, this is a study we've done, and in every single study, every single example, every single situation, they make things worse. The idea of all these benefits going under one system sounds good, but when you take into consideration that this government has the Conservative run way back has an appalling run with technology, and the fact that they keep messing things up, it would take 5 minutes to look at their proposal for universal credits and say, yeah, no, this isn't going to work because there are a ton of mistakes that happen daily. But Ian Duncan Smith, Esther McVeigh, Amber Rudd kept pushing it through, despite the fact, even after all these countless mistakes, and there are hundreds of stories that I've tried to get to, but just haven't had the time to, of how much universal credits actually cost the country just in appeals alone, because they're wrong, where people get sanctioned and they lose every bit of income they have. Universal credits is horrific. And as I've said before, any politician who says they support universal credits, wipe your hands, because they've just said they're anti-British, they don't care about the United Kingdom, and to hell with you. That's what they're saying when they say they support universal credits. So Labour coming out and saying that if they get into power, should they win the next general election, they would get rid of universal credits. Fantastic. Keep that going. Corbyn, as much as I like the policies, has done a lot of damage by not coming down one way or the other on Brexit. And now his official position is being on the fence. I'm sorry, but this is not something you can be on the fence about. You could have voted to leave and then changed your mind. You could have voted to remain and then changed your mind. You could have weighed everything up and said, you know what? Based on how our economy works, based on everything that we do, leaving the EU would be really stupid. Based on countless studies from the NHS, based on lorry driver, company testimonials, and every other little thing, yeah, this is going to hurt us a lot. But to come down and say, officially, I have no opinion, no, it's crap. And that will do a lot of damage. And to be honest, again, I like Corbyn's policies, but he was a melt when it comes to opposition for Theresa May. Theresa May lied after lie after lie after lie, and while sometimes he'd get a little bit of fire in his gut, he wouldn't challenge it and he wouldn't keep going on. When Theresa May said that her government was the only government that had put so much into education, demonstrable lie. Even if he didn't have the numbers on him, even if he couldn't get them in that short space of time, he could have come back the next day, he could have come back the next week and said, Theresa May, you lied. And here is a ton of evidence to why you lied. Well, to prove you lied, not why you lied. So yeah, he's been a melt when it comes to opposition leader. So he needs to focus, Labour in general needs to focus on the policies, and universal credit is a great one. Get rid of it, it doesn't bloody work. Then you can go into pensions and retirement. Across Germany, France, and a few other European countries, I believe we have one of the highest retirement ages with some of the crappiest pensions. That is another winning strategy that you could go with. Because again, austerity has been proven to not work. The studies are done. The research is over with. It has been proven beyond any doubt. Austerity does not stimulate economies, it does not help growth, and it does not recover debts. What does do all these things is to give money into the pockets of people who will actually spend it. So part of the reason why I just truly hate and have nothing but disdain for Jacob Rees-Mogg, the money that he's going to save by not paying tax into this country won't affect him one way or the other. He won't notice paying that amount into tax or not paying it into tax, but greed has got the better of him because he's one of those people. But if the average person in this country has an extra £400-500, I mean, how much is that going to help people? Even if it's just making sure that there's food in, which for a lot of people is a struggle. Even if it's just keeping the lights on. Even if it's just help paying the rent, if not paying the rent in full. That £400-500 extra pounds is going to help massively. And it's by and large, it's going to be spent back into the local economy. It's going to be spent back into this country. Whereas people like Jacob Rees-Mogg will take their fortunes, keep it offshore, and they won't spend it. Occasionally buy a yacht, occasionally buy a big house. But by and large, and again, the studies have been done with this, if you want to stimulate economy, you give money to the people who actually spend it. So that would be another winning strategy, and I hope they go down that road as well. You can also look at, and I know this is a weird one, people don't seem to like this one, but a 4-day working week. I've said 100 times, I work in care, so that wouldn't affect me at all. It wouldn't. Care is not a 9-to-5 job. But for a number of people, that would be fantastic. As long as they don't suffer financially, of course. And again, where it's been done, it's been incredibly successful. It makes people happier not being at work. It's weird. But Labour's first step, in my opinion, of saying we will get rid of universal credits, and there's nothing that makes me believe that they're lying through their teeth on this. I think they would follow through if they won the general election. It's a great first step, and that's something that they need to be consistent on, and they need to be pushing that on every platform that they're on. They're all on Twitter. They probably all have Facebook accounts. They can all use YouTube and go to anyone who has a YouTube channel and constantly spout that we will get rid of universal credits. That would be a fantastic boom, an absolutely fantastic boom. So that's the message that they need to keep driving home. And it's not entirely because Corbyn couldn't come down one way or the other on Brexit, but certainly Labour has made mistakes, and this will go a long way to fixing them, in my opinion.